The story begins with Albus Dumbledore, who arrives in a place called Privet Drive, along with Professor McGonagall. Using his magic, Dumbledore quietly turns off all the lights across the entire street. Just then, Hagrid shows up carrying a baby in his arms. This baby is Harry Potter. We learn that Harry's parents were killed by a dark wizard named Lord Voldemort, but for some mysterious reason, Voldemort wasn't able to kill Harry. Instead, Harry was left with a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. And this wasn't just any mark. It was a sign of a powerful and dangerous curse. Hagrid hands baby Harry over to Dumbledore because they've come to leave him with his only remaining relatives, his aunt and uncle. McGonagall warns Dumbledore that leaving Harry here might not be a good idea. She says she's been watching this family all day, and they're terrible people. McGonagall's meaning people with no magic at all. But Dumbledore calmly explains that Harry has no one else. He believes Harry will grow up to become someone very special, but for now, it's safer if he stays hidden from the magical world, at least until he turns 11. And with that, they leave baby Harry on the doorstep and disappear into the night. 10 years later, Harry has grown up, and his 11th birthday is just around the corner. But his life is far from happy. His Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia treat him very badly, making him do all the housework, and their spoiled son Dudley constantly bullies him. One day on Dudley's birthday, the family goes to the zoo. While they're there, Dudley starts bothering a Burmese python inside a glass enclosure. Feeling sorry for it, Harry quietly apologizes to the python, and suddenly, the python talks back to him. Harry is shocked, but he understands it. He tells the python that he knows what it feels like to live trapped in a cage. Just then, Dudley comes back and pushes Harry aside, and in that moment, something strange happens. The glass of the enclosure suddenly disappears. Dudley falls inside the enclosure, and the Burmese python escapes, thanking Harry before slithering away. Dudley tries to get out, but the glass magically reappears, trapping him inside. Uncle Vernon realizes that Harry must be behind this. He gets furious and locks Harry in his room. Harry insists he didn't do anything, because he still has no idea that he's actually a wizard. The next day, something unusual happens. Harry receives a letter from Hogwarts, but before he can read it, Uncle Vernon snatches it away and tears it up. However, that's just the beginning. Soon dozens, then hundreds of letters start arriving, delivered by owls, flooding the entire house. Vernon completely loses his mind trying to stop them. To escape the letters, he takes the whole family to a remote, isolated island. That night, it's Harry's birthday. With no one else around, Harry quietly wishes himself a happy birthday. But suddenly, boom, the door bursts open. Hagrid storms in, terrifying everyone inside. He brings Harry a homemade birthday cake and warmly wishes him. Harry, confused, asks who he is. Hagrid smiles and tells him, "I'm the keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts, and Harry, you're a wizard." Harry is completely shocked. His aunt and uncle had never told him anything about this. Hagrid explains that Harry's parents were wizards too, and that he has the potential to become a great one. All he needs is training, and for that, he must come with Hagrid to Hogwarts. Then Hagrid finally gives him the letter that had been sent so many times before. It says that Harry has been accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, but Uncle Vernon refuses. He shouts that Harry is not going anywhere, and even insults Dumbledore. That's when Hagrid loses his temper, and uses magic to give Dudley a pig's tail. Everyone panics. Hagrid then tells Harry it's time to leave, and takes him away from the island. But before going to Hogwarts, Harry needs to get his school supplies. So Hagrid takes him to a secret magical place, where people are shocked to see Harry, some even scared, because the name Harry Potter means something very big in the wizarding world. At the magical place, Harry meets Professor Quirrell, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. But strangely, Quirrell seems nervous and even a little scared of Harry. Seeing this, Harry is confused. He doesn't understand how everyone already knows who he is, so he asks Hagrid about it. Hagrid then takes Harry through a secret entrance into a hidden wizarding marketplace called Diagon Alley. This place is filled with magical shops and everything a wizard could ever need. Harry is amazed, looking at all the strange and magical things around him. But then he worries. He tells Hagrid he doesn't have any money to buy all this. Hagrid smiles and takes him to Gringotts Bank. Inside the bank, goblins are running everything. One of them leads Harry to his parents' vault, and when it opens, Harry is shocked. Inside is a huge fortune of gold and treasure, left behind by his parents. For the first time, Harry realizes his parents did leave something for him. After that, they're taken to Vault 713, a highly secure vault. Hagrid takes out a small mysterious package from inside. When Harry asks what it is, Hagrid avoids the question and simply says, "It's something very important," and he keeps it safe with him. Next, Harry visits Ollivander's to get his wand. The shopkeeper shows him many different wands, because in the wizarding world, the wand chooses the wizard, but none of them seem to work for Harry. Finally, he's given a very special wand, and this time, the wand chooses him. The shopkeeper is stunned. He tells Harry that this wand contains a feather from a phoenix, and that same phoenix gave only one other feather, the one used in the wand of Lord Voldemort, the same wizard who killed Harry's parents and gave him that lightning scar. Just then, Hagrid returns with a birthday gift for Harry, an owl. Harry names her Hedwig. Later, while they're eating together, Harry asks Hagrid about Voldemort. Hagrid explains that not all wizards are good. Some turn dark, and Voldemort was the worst of them all. He became obsessed with dark powers, and many people joined him. Harry's parents tried to stop him, but Voldemort was too powerful. No one could stand against him. But when he tried to kill baby Harry, something unexpected happened. The spell backfired. That's how Harry got his scar, and somehow Voldemort disappeared. Hagrid believes he's still out there somewhere, weak and hiding, and that's why Harry is famous, because he's the only one who ever survived Voldemort. After this, they arrive at the train station. Hagrid tells Harry he has to leave for an important task, to deliver that mysterious package to Dumbledore. He gives Harry a train ticket and quickly disappears. Harry looks at the ticket. Platform 9 3/4. He's confused. There's no such platform. While searching, Harry notices a kind woman with her children and hears them talking about that same platform 9 3/4. He watches closely and sees them walk straight through a wall between platforms. Shocked but curious, Harry gathers his courage and runs straight at the wall, and just like that, he passes through it. On the other side, he finds the hidden platform and the Hogwarts Express waiting for him. Harry boards the train and begins his journey to Hogwarts. Inside the train, he meets Ron Weasley, another first-year student. The two quickly become friends. Soon, a girl named Hermione Granger joins them. She fixes Harry's broken glasses using magic. Even though she's very smart, she comes off a little bossy, so people don't really like her at first. Finally, the train arrives. Hagrid is there to welcome the students. He takes them across the lake in small boats toward Hogwarts, and when they see the castle for the first time, everyone is amazed. It's huge, magical, and absolutely breathtaking. At the entrance, Professor McGonagall greets them. She explains that before joining the school, they will be sorted into different houses. At Hogwarts, there are 4 houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. She tells them that their house will be like their family. Good actions will earn points, breaking rules will lose points, and at the end of the year, the house with the most points wins the house cup. Then a boy named Draco Malfoy walks up to Harry and sees him standing with Ron. He tells Harry that at Hogwarts, some families are better than others, and he's sure Harry wouldn't want to be friends with the wrong kind of people. But Harry Potter calmly replies that he can tell right from wrong on his own and doesn't need any help with that. After this, all the students are taken into the Great Hall, where everyone gathers. Here, Albus Dumbledore first explains the school rules, like how the Forbidden Forest is strictly off limits, and no one is allowed to go near the 3rd floor corridor, or they'll face serious consequences. Then comes the moment everyone was waiting for. The Sorting Hat begins placing students into their houses based on their abilities and personality. Some go to Hufflepuff, some to Slytherin, and Draco is placed into Slytherin. Ron quietly tells Harry that Slytherin is where most dark wizards come from, so it's not exactly the best place to be. When it's Harry's turn, he nervously asks the Sorting Hat not to put him in Slytherin, and surprisingly, the Hat listens, placing him into Gryffindor instead. Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley also end up in Gryffindor, and the 3 of them are really happy. That night, everyone eats together and then heads to their dorms, where Harry notices something strange. The staircases keep moving on their own. The next day, classes begin, and their first lesson is with Severus Snape, the head of Slytherin. Snape immediately targets Harry, asking him difficult questions. Harry doesn't know the answers, even though Hermione clearly does, and keeps raising her hand. But Snape ignores her, because he wants to embarrass Harry. He says fame isn't everything. Real skill matters. Harry fires back, saying they haven't even been taught anything yet. So Snape coldly gives him the answers himself. Later, while sitting in the hall, students start receiving mail, but Harry gets nothing. So he reads Ron's newspaper and finds out that someone tried to break into Vault 713 at the Wizard Bank, but nothing was stolen. That's when Harry remembers that was the same vault Hagrid had emptied earlier. Then we move to flying class, where students learn how to ride broomsticks. The teacher explains that they must control the broom with focus and balance, but Neville Longbottom loses control and accidentally flies up before crashing down and breaking his arm. While the teacher takes him away, Draco picks up Neville's Remembrall and refuses to give it back. So Harry decides to step in. Draco flies into the air, thinking Harry can't fly, but Harry jumps on a broom and takes off perfectly. Draco throws the Remembrall toward the castle, but Harry dives at full speed and catches it mid-air. Everyone is shocked, including Professor McGonagall. She's impressed by Harry's natural talent and takes him to meet Oliver Wood, the Gryffindor team captain. And just like that, Harry is selected as the seeker for the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Ron is excited, but deep down, Harry feels nervous because he's afraid he might mess it all up. But just then, Hermione Granger comes over and reassures Harry. She tells him he can't mess this up because his father was also an amazing seeker and a natural at the game. Hearing this makes Harry Potter feel a lot better. Later that night, the 3 of them are heading back to their dorm, but suddenly the moving staircases shift, and they accidentally end up on the 3rd floor. As they look around, they realize something feels seriously wrong, so they quickly try to leave. But just then, the caretaker's cat shows up. To avoid getting caught, they rush inside a locked room nearby. They think they're safe, but when they turn around, they see a massive 3-headed dog sleeping inside. Unfortunately, their presence wakes it up, and it immediately tries to attack them. Terrified, the 3 of them run out just in time and barely escape. Ron is completely freaked out and can't understand why such a dangerous creature is inside the school. That's when Hermione points out something important. There was a trapdoor under the dog, which means it's guarding something. The next day, Oliver Wood takes Harry outside to explain the rules of Quidditch. He tells him that each team has 7 players, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, 1 keeper, and 1 seeker, and Harry is the seeker. Wood shows him the balls used in the game and explains that the chasers score by throwing the ball through hoops, while the keeper, which is Wood himself, defends those goals. Then he shows Harry the golden snitch, a tiny super fast flying ball. The seeker's job is to catch it, and whichever team catches it earns 150 points, usually winning the game instantly. That night during dinner, Harry notices Hermione isn't there. Another student tells him she's been crying in the bathroom all day because Ron Weasley made fun of her, saying she has no friends. Suddenly, Quirinus Quirrell rushes in, panicking, and tells Albus Dumbledore that a troll has entered the dungeon. Everyone freaks out. Dumbledore quickly calms the students and sends them back to their dorms with their prefects, but Harry suddenly realizes Hermione is still in the bathroom, so he and Ron run off to find her. They soon discover the troll is heading straight toward the girls' bathroom. Hermione sees the giant creature and is completely terrified as it starts attacking her. Just in time, Harry and Ron arrive and try to distract the troll using wooden clubs. In a risky move, Harry jumps onto the troll and shoves his wand up its nose. The troll gets furious and grabs Harry, putting him in serious danger. That's when Ron, for the first time ever, successfully uses magic. He lifts the troll's own weapon and smashes it down on its head, knocking it unconscious. Moments later, the teachers arrive. Minerva McGonagall scolds all 3 of them for risking their lives, but something catches Harry's attention. Severus Snape has a strange injury on his leg. After this incident, Harry, Ron, and Hermione finally become true friends. The next day, Harry notices Snape limping and tells Hermione that maybe Snape let the troll in just to sneak past that 3-headed dog and steal whatever it's guarding. But they still don't know what that mysterious object is. Just then, an owl arrives with a package for Harry. He's surprised because no one has ever sent him anything before. When he opens it, he finds a beautiful top-of-the-line broomstick, the Nimbus 2000, and from Professor McGonagall's subtle smile, Harry realizes she's the one who sent it, and this makes him incredibly happy. Soon the day finally arrives. The Quidditch match is about to begin. All the Gryffindor players enter the field on their broomsticks, and moments later, the Slytherin team joins them. Madam Hooch throws the ball into the air, and the game begins. The golden snitch starts flying around at Neverite speed, while Harry's team plays incredibly well, scoring 1 goal after another. But the Slytherin team starts cheating. They begin knocking Gryffindor players off their brooms, turning the game in their favor. Seeing this, Harry Potter focuses on catching the golden snitch and starts chasing it. But suddenly, something goes wrong. His broom goes completely out of control. Everyone is shocked. Hermione Granger looks toward the stands and realizes something. Severus Snape is muttering a spell, controlling Harry's broom, so she quickly sneaks over and sets Snape's robe on fire, breaking his concentration. Now Harry regains control of his broom and continues chasing the snitch. The Slytherin Seeker tries to knock him down, but Harry holds steady. He even stands on his broom mid-air to reach the snitch. But suddenly, he falls. Everyone thinks it's over, but in the next moment, Harry coughs and spits out the golden snitch. It had flown straight into his mouth during the fall. Because of this, Gryffindor wins the match, and everyone celebrates Harry as a hero. Later, Harry, Ron, and Hermione try to explain to Rubeus Hagrid that Snape was the one who cursed the broom, but Hagrid refuses to believe them, so Harry tells him that Snape was also trying to get past that 3-headed dog. Hagrid slips up and reveals something important. The dog's name is Fluffy, and he's guarding something extremely valuable. He also mentions that it belongs to Albus Dumbledore, and warns them not to interfere in matters involving Nicholas Flamel. Now the mystery deepens. Who exactly is Nicholas Flamel? Days later, Christmas arrives. Hermione leaves to visit her parents, while Harry and Ron stay back at Hogwarts. Before leaving, Hermione tells them to check the restricted section of the library, because they still haven't found anything about Nicholas Flamel. The next morning, Ron wakes Harry up, excited. Harry has received gifts. One of them comes with a note saying it once belonged to his father, and now it's time for it to be returned. But there's no name on the sender. When Harry opens it, he finds an invisibility cloak, a magical cloak that can make him completely invisible. That night, Harry uses the cloak and sneaks into the restricted library. He starts searching for information about Nicholas Flamel, but suddenly the caretaker senses someone's presence. Quickly, Harry hides under the cloak and escapes into another room. There, he discovers something incredible, a magical mirror. When Harry looks into it, he sees his parents. This was the mirror of Arisen, a mirror that shows a person their deepest desires. Seeing his parents makes Harry emotional, and soon he starts coming back every night, just to see them again. But one night, Albus Dumbledore appears behind him. He gently explains that the mirror has destroyed many lives because it shows dreams, not reality. It gives neither truth nor knowledge, only desire. He warns Harry not to get lost in it, because living in dreams means losing touch with real life. Harry understands this, and finally decides to move forward and live in the real world again. The story then moves forward a few days, where Hermione finally returns, and their final exams are getting really close. She tells Ron to stop playing around and focus on studying. While they're going through a book together, Hermione suddenly discovers something huge. Nicholas Flamel is the only person who has ever created the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, this stone isn't just any object. It's legendary. It can turn any metal into pure gold, and even create an elixir that grants eternal life. And right now, there's only one such stone in existence, and it belongs to Nicholas Flamel, a famous alchemist who recently celebrated his 665th birthday. Hearing this, Hermione quickly connects the dots. She realizes that the stone must be hidden on the 3rd floor, and that three-headed dog Fluffy is guarding it. So the trio rushes to Hagrid's hut in the forest and tell him everything they've figured out. They believe that Snape is trying to steal the stone, but Hagrid shuts that idea down immediately. He tells them Snape is actually protecting the stone, just like the other teachers. At that moment, Hagrid spots Draco spying on them. Draco runs back to the castle and reports everything to Professor McGonagall. When Harry and his friends return, McGonagall is furious. Since students are strictly forbidden from entering the forest at night, she deducts 50 points from their house and punishes Draco as well for being involved. As punishment, Filch takes them back to Hagrid, who's heading into the Forbidden Forest to track down a mysterious creature that has been killing unicorns and drinking their blood. Draco is terrified, but they have no choice. As they move deeper into the forest, Hagrid finds traces of unicorn blood on the ground. He explains that a unicorn was recently found dead, and now another one has been badly injured. To cover more ground, Hagrid splits the group. Harry and Draco go one way with Fang, while Hagrid heads in another direction with Ron and Hermione. Soon, Harry and Draco spot a wounded unicorn and a shadowy figure drinking its blood. Suddenly, Harry's lightning scar starts hurting badly. The creature notices them. Draco panics and runs away with Fang, leaving Harry behind. Harry falls to the ground as the dark figure slowly approaches him. But just in time, a mysterious creature named Far appears and scares the attacker away. Far warns Harry that the forest is dangerous and that many creatures know who he is. When Harry asks about the unicorn, Far explains something chilling. Unicorns are pure beings. Drinking their blood can keep someone alive, even if they're dying, but at a terrible cost. The one who drinks it will live a cursed life. And then he reveals the truth. That dark figure was none other than Voldemort. He's weak, cursed, and desperately trying to survive. That's why he needs the Sorcerer's Stone to become immortal again. Just then, Hagrid arrives with Ron and Hermione, happy to see Firenze again. After returning to Hogwarts, Harry explains everything to his friends. Now it's clear, Voldemort is after the stone, and if he gets it, he'll become unstoppable and come after Harry again. They decide they need to warn Dumbledore immediately. Since Voldemort fears only him, he's their best hope. But when they go to Professor McGonagall, they find out that Dumbledore has already left for the Ministry of Magic. Now Harry realizes something terrifying. This might have been a trap. Snape could already be on his way to steal the stone. So that very night, the three of them sneak to the 3rd floor. They find Fluffy asleep with soft music playing, which means someone has already gotten past him. Without wasting time, they carefully move Fluffy's paw aside and enter the trapdoor below. But suddenly, Fluffy wakes up and attacks them. The trio falls straight down, landing inside a massive, dangerous plant. It turns out that plant was actually a deadly magical trap known as Devil's Snare. The more they struggled, the tighter it wrapped around them. Luckily, Hermione knew exactly what it was. She quickly tells them to stay calm and relax, because the plant hates light and stillness. Harry and Hermione manage to stay calm, and the plant slowly releases them. But Ron panics, and the trap tightens around him even more. So Hermione quickly uses magic to free Ron, saving his life just in time. After escaping, the trio moves forward and enters another room where hundreds of flying keys are swarming all around. Harry immediately realizes that one of those keys must unlock the next door. Among them, he spots an old, worn-out key with a broken wing that has to be the right one. So Harry jumps onto a flying broom and chases the keys through the air, but the keys start attacking him, making it really dangerous. Still, Harry manages to grab the correct key and unlock the door. Inside, they find a giant wizard chessboard. Ron quickly understands the only way forward is to actually play the game. As they step onto the board, the chess pieces come to life and start attacking. So Ron takes charge and plays the game like a pro. He sacrifices himself as a knight piece to win the match and gets seriously injured in the process. But thanks to his strategy, Harry wins the game and the next door opens. Seeing Ron badly hurt, Harry tells Hermione to stay back and take care of him, while he moves forward alone. As Harry enters the final chamber, he's shocked to see that it's not Snape, it's Professor Quirrell. The Mirror of Erised is also there. Quirrell reveals the truth. Snape was actually trying to protect Harry all along, while he was the one trying to kill him. During the Quidditch match, it was Quirrell who cursed Harry's broom, and Snape was secretly trying to save him. Even the troll attack on Halloween was just a distraction, so Quirrell could get closer to the stone. But Snape had been suspicious and was trying to stop him. Now Quirrell says he sees himself in the mirror, holding the Sorcerer's Stone, but he doesn't know how to get it. Suddenly, a dark voice speaks to him. It's Voldemort. He tells Quirrell to use Harry, so Quirrell calls Harry forward and forces him to look into the mirror. When Harry looks, he sees himself holding the Sorcerer's Stone, and suddenly, he realizes the stone is now in his pocket. But he lies to Quirrell, saying he saw nothing. Voldemort immediately understands that Harry is lying. Then comes the most shocking moment. Quirrell removes his turban, and on the back of his head is Voldemort's face. Because his body was destroyed, Voldemort has been surviving like a parasite, living inside Quirrell. Voldemort tells Harry that he's barely alive using unicorn blood, but he needs the stone to regain his full body and power. He even tempts Harry, saying he can bring his parents back to life, but Harry refuses. Angered, Quirrell attacks him, but the moment Harry touches Quirrell's skin, it starts burning. His body begins to turn to ash. That's because Harry is protected by his mother's sacrifice, a powerful magic rooted in love. Quirrell is destroyed, but Voldemort's spirit escapes, passing through Harry and disappearing. Harry collapses, unconscious. When Harry wakes up, he finds himself in the hospital wing. Dumbledore is there, smiling. He tells Harry that Ron and Hermione are safe. Harry asks about the Sorcerer's Stone. Dumbledore explains that it has been destroyed, so it can never fall into the wrong hands, even though that means Nicholas Flamel will eventually die. Harry then asks how the stone came to him. Dumbledore tells him something important. Only someone who wanted to find the stone but not use it could get it, and Harry's intentions were pure. He also explains why Quirrell couldn't touch Harry, because his mother sacrificed herself to save him, and that kind of love leaves a powerful protection behind. Later, Harry reunites with Ron and Hermione. Now it's time to announce the house points for the year. At first it looks like Slytherin has won, but then Dumbledore awards extra points to Harry, Ron, Hermione, and even Neville for their bravery. And just like that, Gryffindor wins the House Cup. Everyone cheers. Finally, it's time to go back home. Harry says goodbye to Hagrid, who gives him a special album filled with photos of his parents. Harry is truly happy. Hagrid even jokes that if his aunt and uncle trouble him, he can always use a little magic on them. With that, Harry boards the train, heading back home, but now everything has changed, because he finally knows who he is. If you liked this story, don't miss this one. A boy saves a dolphin, and what happens next will blow your mind.